The stakes for the stock market has never been this high before. The Nasdaq is now up 17% year to date. Oil is now up 69% year to date. The Strait of Hormuz is showing no signs of any oil tankers going through it. Inflation expectations are now going through the roof, and the base case scenario is to actually raise interest rates this year. Bond yields are going up, and the stock market valuation right now is now kind of close to dot-com crash levels. All right, guys, look, I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to lay out the facts in a non biased way to show you what's going on in the economy, what's going on in the stock market, and how to allocate your money in a way to potentially make a lot of money. Okay, let's go dive back into the charts right here. Obviously, we know the Iran situation, there's no oil going through the Strait of Hormuz, oil's going up, inflation's going up. We get it. But 69% year to date is high. That's a lot for oil to go up. And again, there's nothing going through the Strait of Hormuz right now. This is where Iraq pushes their oil through, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and of course Iran too. All their oil goes and flows through the Strait of Hormuz. But right now there's a blockade on the Iran side and the US side, and nothing is going through. So what is that doing for inflation expectations? It's going up because the price of oil is going up. The cost of buying a house is more. The cost of buying a car is more. Everything is more expensive when interest rates are higher, right? So if we go look at this chart right here, this shows you the percent chance that we're going to be at a certain interest rate level by the end of the year. This goes to December 9th of the end of this year. Current interest rate range is 3.5 to 3.75%. Basically, what this means is there's a 32% chance we're going to be at that same level at the end of the year. And all this stuff to the right is just how high are we really going to go on interest rates? 42% chance we hike by 0.25, 20% chance we hike by 0.5, 4.4% chance we hike by 0.75, and 0.4% chance we hike by one whole percentage point this year. So, why do we care if interest rates go up? It's because interest rates are like gravity on the stock market. Warren Buffett said it best himself. He literally said interest rates are everything. Look what happened back here in 2022 in the stock market. We know that the NASDAQ went down quite a bit. From peak to trough, it went down about 35%. Why? We came out of COVID. Interest rates were very low. Money was flowing like crazy with stimmy checks to everybody. Inflation got out of control. They raised interest rates at the Fed to try to bring inflation down. Boom, the market fell 35%. So with the market just sending to the moon right now and inflation's getting a little bit out of control, the Fed is signaling, hey, we might actually go and raise interest rates. And if they do, the stock market is going to fall. Okay. If we go look at interest rates right here, this is where they're actually at for the 10-year bond. Right now, you could go take your money and go buy a 10-year bond, get 4.5% risk free as long as the US government doesn't default. Do nothing, go into a coma the rest of your life and make 4.5% and not have to worry about anything. My point is this: the higher that the 10-year bond goes, the more compelling it is then going to look, because the stock market at the end of the day, it averages about 10% per year. If the S&P does 10 and a bond were to be at 10, who is going to take the quote risk in the stock market and get all the volatility, all the bumps and crashes along the way, when you could just go get a guaranteed 10% ROI in a bond? Now, obviously, bonds are not 10% right now, they're 4.5, but you get my point. If inflation gets out of control, interest rates are then going to go up, and the bond's going to look more compelling, and the stock market's going to look less compelling. So we have to factor that into our overall thesis. Now, looking very, very quickly at the overall valuation level for the stock market, we are not at a cheap valuation right now. This is where the market was at before the dot-com crash, basically at a price earnings ratio level of 25. 10, 15, 20, and 25 on the blue lines right here. And then the red line is going to be the actual S&P 500 itself. So the market crash right here over 50%, largely because valuations were high. Boom, it went down 50% right there. Then the market rebounded, then boom, smack you in the face with another thing. Market fell about 50% for the great financial crisis. So this was a very, very bad time period in the stock market right here. Now, if you look very, very closely, I'll zoom in, it's kind of hard to see. If you look where we're at right now on the price earnings ratio level, we are now above 20. We're not quite at 25. We'll call it about 21. So we're getting close. The market's getting a little bit expensive. The market's getting a little bit stretched beyond where the actual fundamentals are at. And that really shouldn't surprise you, because we all know the market just went to the moon lately, right? If we look at this rebound that we got off this little Iran dip, the market, the NASDAQ is now up 27%. So, yeah, things are getting very interesting right now. Okay, so that's kind of like the bad stuff, which it's really not horrible, but there is definitely some things to worry about. I'm going to give you my thoughts on how I think all that's going to pan out in just a second, if the market's going to go up or crash, all that good stuff. But now what I want to do is talk about some of the good stuff because it's not all bad out there. There truly is a lot of good stuff happening right now. Okay. If we go look at this report right here that just came out, critical information here. Okay. You guys know that I'm a fundamental investor. The number one thing that moves prices of stocks in the long term is where the profits go. The number one thing, if you want to go buy this business right here, this water bottle business, as I say all the time, the first thing you care about is the price. The second thing you care about is how much money does it make? What are the profits? If you buy for $1 million and it makes $1 per year in profit, that's stupid, right? But if you buy for $1 million and it throws off $100,000 per year in profits, that's not bad. That's a PE ratio of 10 right there. So you'll essentially get your money back in 10 years. So I'm a fundamental investor, okay? If we go look at how earnings season went so far, we just got Q1 earnings and it came out pretty freaking good if you ask me. Let's look at the data because this is going to drive where the market's likely to go in the long term. And of course, those negative catalysts that we just talked about, they will cause bumps along the way, but this is like the freight train of where the market's likely to go. Okay, earnings scorecard. So for Q1 of 2026, 94% of the S&P 500 companies reported earnings. Of the 94%, which is basically all of them, 84% of them beat earnings per share expectations. 81% beat revenue expectations. These numbers right here are astronomically phenomenal. We are smoking earnings. And all the people that were like, oh my God, Brandon, I ran this, I ran that, it's going to crush earnings going forward, the revenue is going to collapse, the economy is going to collapse, no one's going to spend money. Look, it's not panning out right now. Earnings are very, very, very strong right now. Now, how good are they actually? If we go to earnings growth, 28% year over year is how fast the earnings are actually growing year over year. So not only are we smoking expectations, but we're smoking expectations by a lot. Like the average right here is about 10% per year, and it's no surprise that the S&P, if we look right here, the S&P going back to 1950, it averages about 10% per year. It's going to be hard for me to highlight over this, but this little blue line right here, I got it. It's about 10% per year at the end of the year. It's just hard to get it selected. But you get my point. The reason why the market goes up about 10% per year is because the profits grow at about 10% per year. So when we're seeing profits going to Pluto right now at 28%, we should, of course, expect the market to be going up a little bit more than normal too, right? But it is a little bit expensive if we look at this chart right here according to the actual price earnings ratio level going forward. Right here, it is a little bit on the high side, but the fact that we have really, really strong earnings per share growth, it's not as bad as what people think at first glance. So now if we go down a little bit, we'll look at valuation. So the forward 12-month price earnings ratio level for the S&P 500 is about 21. The 5-year average is about 20, and the 10-year average is about 19. So look, the 10-year average is 19. Right now we're at 21. Okay, sure, our price earnings ratio level, our fundamental thermometer on the stock market, it is a little bit high. But what else is really, really high right now? The profit growth. So because the P ratio is a little bit high right now and the profit growth is very, very strong, the market isn't really that overvalued. I mean, it's a little bit overvalued, but it's by no means a bubble in my opinion. And if we go look at this chart right here, this shows you the S&P 500 versus the actual earnings per share growth line. You guys know where the profits go is where the stocks are likely to go. Up here, the market was a little bit expensive, and above the EPS growth line, market fell. Market was below it, market went up. Market was below it, market went up. Market was at it, market went up. It's really not hard to know where the market's going to go if you know where the profits are at. So right now you do see we're a little bit disconnected right now, but this disconnect is about a difference of about 10%. It's not really that bad. So my opinion of the stock market right now is we're somewhere around 5 to 10% overvalued. But when you look at this chart right here, just to get another thermometer gauge of how good the profits are, how fast the profits are growing right now, which again is the number one thing that moves stocks in the long term. When you look at this chart, it's like, okay, like profits are just growing so strong right now. The valuation level of the market might actually be justified. Okay, look at the blue line right here. This is the S&P 500 forward earnings, okay? Forward earnings, it's not on this y-axis right here for the red one. You got to go to the left over here. So if we go here, we go to the left, you could see that earnings per share for the S&P 500 is growing somewhere around, we'll call it 27%, which this data comes from Yardini, and the other data that we just looked at came from FactSet. So there's two independent companies that are reporting earnings per share growth for the S&P somewhere around 28%. Very, very, very strong. Now, the benefit of it is that this earnings per share growth that we see right here from FactSet, this already happened. This was in the past. This was the previous 12 months. What this chart shows us is the 12 months to come because it's the forward earnings. So not only is the profit growth really good year over year looking backwards, but the forward profit growth is expected to continue. So that means that the market could continue going up and to the right because the profit growth is so, so strong. Now, if we go back to this chart right here, I know it looks like a lot of squiggles on a chart, but it's just a good way to get a feeler of where the market's at right now versus how it historically performs. So the blue dotted line through here is obviously where the S&P average is at since 1950, roughly 10%. If we look at 2025, it's kind of eerily similar right now. Like the market kind of went up a little bit coming into the year, then it went down because we had some sort of catalyst, which 2025 it was tariffs, 2026 it was the Iran situation, then there's a big flip-flop, and then the market kind of rebounds and just bleeds up for the rest of the year. And I think it's going to be like that for the rest of the year, simply because the profit growth is just so, so strong. Okay, you get it. I'm bullish in the long term. Short term, there is some things to worry about. So where's the lay of the land? How does everything just factor out together? Look, there's no doubt that oil is causing inflation. There's no doubt that tariffs from last year are still causing inflation. If inflation takes a chill pill, which I think it's likely to do, interest rates are going to come down, interest rate expectations will come down, and when bond yields fall, the stock market then looks more compelling for it to then go up even more. So that is a bullish catalyst that is potentially building right now. And if we go look at the projections right here for where interest rates are going to be, I think that most of these projections right here are wrong. I do not think that we're going to hike interest rates this year. Look, I could be wrong, but I just don't think that it's going to happen. Inflation's a little bit hot right now. It's in the twos still, and the target is around 2%, but it's not completely out of control. So when these interest rate hikes get priced out of the market, like I said, bond yields are likely to fall, and when they fall, the stock market's likely to go up because we're unpricing this negative event right here. So that is a bullish tailwind catalyst for the stock market right now. Now, again, if we go look at valuations, we get it that valuations are not super cheap right now. But what kind of justifies this, again, is that the earnings per share growth is so, so, so strong right now. Okay. If earnings per share continues to grow, the stock market valuation is justified. But if we start to see the earnings per share growth roll over, maybe AI is not so good anymore, maybe capital expenditures slow down, maybe Nvidia's earnings per share growth slows down, which I covered Nvidia in a previous video to this one. You got to go watch it if you care about Nvidia, because honestly, everybody should care about it because it's the biggest company in the world and it matters, okay? But look, the growth that I'm seeing so far from these companies in Q1, it's it's phenomenal. The growth they reported, the growth that they're guiding. So I do think that the stock market is going to continue up and to the right, but in a very, very bumpy way. We might have a 20% crash, a 30% crash, even a 40% crash potentially. That's always going to be a potential for the stock market. But again, when you have the profit growth growing at 28% year over year, the market is going to follow that. And when you see the market sending to the moon right here, all you're going to see is people online saying, oh my God, the market's a bubble. There's no way this rally could sustain. Look, the reason why this rally could sustain is because the profit growth is so, so strong. It just seems abnormal because we have abnormal profit growth. It's really that simple, guys. All right, so here's the name of the game right now. Allocate your portfolio in a way to win either way. Allocate to the S&P, the Nasdaq, quality companies at quality prices, do options in a responsible, in a reasonable way. If the market falls 30, 40, even 50%, keep your ratios in check so that you could sustain through that. Maybe China invades Taiwan. Maybe there's a World War III. Maybe there's a COVID 2029. Who knows what's going to happen? There's always going to be crazy things that happen in the stock market, and you should be allocated to win either way. You shouldn't care what the headlines are on a day-to-day basis and refreshing your account 14 times a day like most people do. Allocate your portfolio to great companies at good prices, keep your ratios in check, and you are going to crush it in the long term. The environment that we have to invest in right now, it's going to be volatile. There's a lot of new tech coming out with AI. Maybe some jobs are going to get crushed. Maybe some jobs are going to get added. But on balance, I'm very, very, very bullish for the economy and the United States and the whole world economy on a long period of time right now. But again, in the short term, it's going to be bumpy. All right, guys, so that's the video. Like, subscribe, drop a comment. Feel free to go talk crap if you don't like something that I said right here. That is fine. I'll try to reply to as many comments as I can. If you want to learn more about my option system, gotta watch this video right here. It will change your life. I'll see you guys in the next one.